What's going on, guys? So OMIGHTY back out again with your weekly Rust skins video. So we are a couple of days in after the latest Rust item store, and we've actually got some new skins added. So I don't really know why they didn't just add this at the same time as they added all of the new skins. They added it a few days late. The mummy wrap has been added, which is going to be like an undergarment. I'm assuming we're going to start off with them, in clothing. We'll have a look at them. Mummy wrap's going for $8.75. So this is a FacePunch Unique Item. So skin creators don't actually make these underwear. FacePunch does. So this is going to be the first underwear you can actually buy off of the community market once it leaves the Rust item store, and currently also the only underwear you can buy off of the community market. And that is because the other underwear all come together with the summer DLC, and that's the only way you can actually get that. So that does mean, in my opinion, I do think that the mummy wraps are going to be most likely oversaturated, but probably also have a higher demand just because they're the only other underwear you can actually get besides the DLC underwear. And at the moment, I don't think it's actually going to be anytime soon until we get another set of underwear. I'd say we'll probably get some like Mimi ones for Christmas, most likely, maybe then for Easter as well. So that isn't too far away, but that does give the mummy wraps time to go up in value. What you could do with the mummy wraps, because they're going for $8.75, which is pretty expensive, is you could buy them off of here and then just wait a year. Once it comes around to Halloween, I'm sure these will spike up. They'll most likely get added to the Rust item store again. So what I'd recommend to do is sell them like the week or a couple of days before the new Halloween Rust item stores come around. Or you could buy it off of the community market with a buy order for a little bit cheaper if possible, and then do a quick flip before next Halloween comes around. But $8.75, I do think that the mummy wraps are going to have demand, but at the same time it is hard to tell because this is the first of this kind of item. You haven't been able to buy underwear on the community market before, as I've already stated, and so that is going to make it a little bit harder to judge. But overall, I do think that the mummy wrap should make you some money over the year's time. As long as no extra underwear come out next week that are better than this, then there's not going to be any competition for the mummy wraps underwear for quite some time. So overall, I do think that the mummy wraps should be a pretty safe investment for this week. Alrighty, so we're just going to quickly pump through these items because they are re-releases from last year. So we've got the large candle set. This is going to come with a small candle and also a large candle, and you just craft them with animal fat, I'm pretty sure it is, and they're going to cost you $5.75. At the moment, they're going for $6.98 on the community market still. There's 51 on the market. So yesterday they were going for $10.56. I do think they can get back up to that price by next year, but if they keep coming out every Halloween, obviously the price isn't going to recover as well. So overall, if you do buy these, I do think they're probably going to recover back up to the $10 mark by next year. But for now, it's not a very good investment, especially if you want to be doing a quick flip. And I don't think they are going to make you some profit anytime soon. So what you could do is place a buy order, and someone's probably going to try and sell them for pretty cheap at the moment to get the new unique Halloween skins. So I won't recommend investing in them on the Rust item store unless they don't go below that $5.75 within the week of you trying to get the buy order on the community market. Then obviously just buy it on the Rust item store because that's going to be your cheapest option. So that is what my recommendation is for the large candle set. And quickly looking at the cursed cauldron as well, this is still going for $10 on the community market. At the moment it's $8.75 on the Rust item store. So that is a massive rip that FacePunch decided to sell this for a lot less than what it was worth on the community market. Yesterday it was selling for $30, $27.39 Australian, and they decided to put it up for $8.75. So why ever they would have done that is beyond me. I don't really know. They obviously weren't thinking, they don't care, I don't know. But they could have made a lot more money than $8.75 from each of these because they're going for $30 in the community market. But overall, that has made the cursed cauldron on the community market go from $30 down to $10 or $11. So that is a massive rip for that, and it's a pretty big dog act from FacePunch. It would have been definitely better if they actually checked it out. But overall, I would recommend picking up a cursed cauldron either from the community market while it's crashing at the moment with a buy order, or from the Rust item store if the buy order doesn't get you the item that you're after while you're waiting for that week. So overall, it's just going to be, I'm just going to say the same thing which I just said then, for all of the items that have been accepted, because I do think most of them will go back up in value, but I also do think that you can probably get them for cheaper while they're crashing on the community market with a buy order. So you just have to be patient throughout this week. And if you can't get it with the buy order, then I would just recommend getting it off the Rust Item store and just sell it right before Halloween next year, just in case it does re-release like it has this year and completely ruin the prices. Alrighty, moving over to the Strobe Light. I'm not going to turn this one on in the video for obvious reasons. I don't want someone to have an epileptic fit, but there is actually 3 different speeds that you can put the Strobe Light on. I don't actually know what the hertz are off the top of my head, so I'm not even going to bother trying to guess them, but at the moment it's going for $8.28 on the community market. There's only 42 of them. That's definitely going to jump up throughout the week. The price for this one hasn't really crashed at all, but overall I can see that the trends weren't really looking too good anyway. The max that I can see over the month was $9.04 that it sold for, although that is obviously median sale prices. But overall, I still wouldn't really recommend investing in the Strobe Light. I don't think there really is very high demand for it at all, and it is pretty wavy, so you're probably going to be able to get it for a bit cheaper during Christmas time. If you do actually want to pick one of those up, then you can definitely do a good flip. So my recommendation would be stay away from the Strobe Light until December. It'll dip in price, buy it then, and then you're going to be all Gucci to be making some easy coin by Halloween time. But I do think you'll probably sell it before that because it will go back up to the price. So overall, the Strobe Lights should probably dip down in December, and that is when I would recommend investing in them instead of right now. Same goes for the Fogger 3000, going for $8.75. Currently is going for $9.37 on the community market. It also dips down to quite cheap in December or November, so my recommendation for the Fogger would also be to be buying it during that time, November, December. That is when it's going to be probably at its lowest. It is then going to be going back up throughout 2021, and then just make sure that you sell it right before the new Halloween items come out next year, and that is how you're going to be able to maximize your profits for the Fogger 3000 and for pretty much every other Halloween item that's already been released from last year's Rust Item store to this year's. Alrighty, moving over to the Skull Pikes. So there's 3 different variants for this. It's obviously just one item, but then it has the multiple skins. So if you do want to check these out for yourself, if you do buy them, you can also reskin them in a skinning bench. So there's just the default ones, which has just the standard skulls on it. Then there is another variant which has like candles on it, and then there is another variant which I cannot actually remember off the top of my head, but it's also pretty cool looking. You guys will obviously be looking at that right now. So $4.35 for the Skull Pikes. I think that these are going to be very similar to the other items that I've just mentioned. I do think that their price will most likely go down during November, December, but I also do think that they should still be a good investment, especially if you're willing to hold on to them for the year and just sell them right before Halloween, because these will most likely re-release in FacePunch's Rust Item store. Alrighty, so moving over to our final item of the week, we've got the Skull Trophy. This is more expensive, going for $12.95, but this is the ultimate flex on your enemies that are going to offline you tonight after you've watched this video. So what you can do is go and kill whoever you dislike the most. So for example, Bro Red or someone like that, you can kill them, and then $12.95, you pick up one of these bad boys, you keep Bro Red Skull, and then you can put it in a trophy just like this. So obviously that name is a joke, so no one take that to heart. I'm sure you probably will, someone. But overall, there is 4 different variations for this Skull Trophy, which you guys will be able to see right now. So overall, what do I think of these? I do think that the demand is going to be higher for these in comparison to the other items, probably besides the mummy wraps. But I do think that these definitely are unique. They're a really good flex, and I do see them performing well, although I do think that you can be picking them up for cheaper on the community market during November, December. I do think that's going to be a very similar trend with all of the Halloween items. But by next year, if you sell this thing before Halloween comes out, I think it's actually going to be stonks. And I also do think that if this doesn't get re-released, which I'm not going to say it's not going to, because I really do think it is going to get re-released, but if it doesn't, then this thing's going to definitely go up in price by quite a lot. Overall, I personally will recommend investing in it. If you want to save a bit of money, you can wait and you can buy it during November or December, but just make sure you don't forget about it, because I do definitely see the Skull Trophy making you some easy profits. But obviously all of these items are going to be long-term investments, so just keep that in mind as well. You're probably not going to be doing any quick flips, because most of these items will most likely go down in value during November, December, and then start going straight back up throughout the rest of the year until it gets to October. And then that's when they're going to spike the most. So that is my overall thoughts for the Halloween skins for this week. And I do think that all of them have potential, but they are all going to be longer term investments. So just keep that in mind. If this is the first one of my videos that you guys have watched and this store is currently still out, watch the previous video and I talk about all of the community made skins and what to invest in or what not to invest in for the rest of this store. Just check the video before this and that is what the video will be. And now we'll move over to the cart. Right guys, so this is my cart for this week. I'm not actually going to be investing this week. It's still going to cost me $26.05. I'm just buying one of everything that is new, which is obviously the Skull Pikes, the Skull Trophy, and the Mummy Wraps new for this year. And that's going to cost me $26.05. Overall, I do see potential in these items, but I also do think that the best time to be investing in them is going to be November, December. Hopefully I remember, hopefully you guys remember, because that is when they're going to be at their lowest. And then selling them right before Halloween next year is when you're going to make the most amount of stonks. I want these items right now because I like to collect the skins and I like to play with the new skins. So that is why I'm buying them. You don't have to copy my cart, and usually I would recommend not copying my cart because I buy stuff even that is not the best things to be investing in, just because I like to collect skins, and that is why I currently own so many. So overall, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and remember, have a skits one.
Why? 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 Why?